They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
Oh God, you guys, the FBI just pulled back the curtain on something so incredibly shocking, it's making my head spin. And guess who's at the center of this absolutely wild scandal? None other than Sean Diddy Combs. But honey, we're not talking about his chart-topping hits or those lavish parties we've all dreamed about attending. No, no, no. This tea is so much hotter and so much darker than anything you could imagine.
Weinstein and Diddy. Is Diddy more feared because of the groups and the things that are going around? I think he was feared, but I really thought nobody was as untouchable as Harvey Weinstein. I did not think that guy was going to get touched. I thought he was going to get retired. I didn't think he was going to, that these suits were going to do it.
What did
Especially
the polls
when
say
they
about? That's a good point.
When they split it
Right.
into LA and New York and they tried him twice and they put him away forever, I was really shocked that everybody turned and he fell.
Let me tell you why the FBI is absolutely losing their minds over what they discovered beneath his mansion. Trust me, this is the kind of story that'll keep you up at night.
You know, that's what this is about.
I love it. You know who may need this?
Who?
Diddy. His hair may go white.
Yeah.
I know that you guys are somewhat
no comment.
friendly.
No.
No?
I didn't say no.
Yeah.
I know Diddy 30 years. I'm just praying. It's a very sad situation. I don't know enough about it. That's as far as I could go. I stood up last night, maybe 4 hours, praying for him and his kids. His kids, I know them all their life. So, I'm just praying for everybody.
Have you had a chance to talk to him at all since this has been?
Nah, very sad occasion,
Picture this. You're walking through Diddy's absolutely gorgeous mansion, right? I'm talking chandeliers that probably cost more than our houses, art pieces that would make museum curators weep, and then you stumble upon something that'll make your jaw hit the floor. A hidden doorway. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, maybe it's just some fancy wine cellar or a recording studio. Honey, I wish it was that innocent. What the FBI reportedly found were tunnels, and not just any tunnels. We're talking about secret, sprawling underground pathways built specifically for Diddy's private, let's call them activities. And trust me when I tell you, these weren't built for emergency exits or some paranoid Cold War bunker situation. These were designed for something way more scandalous, specific guest lists and those oh-so-secret late-night adventures.
But I heard that you were.
Let's just put it this way. These underground lairs weren't exactly built for playing innocent games of hide and seek. The word on the street is that these tunnels were part of something much bigger, much more organized, and definitely not about promoting the next hit single. I mean, the details are still pretty hush-hush, but the vibe, crystal clear. These passages were apparently part of this super secretive network used for what we'll diplomatically call exclusive gatherings. And when I say exclusive, I mean the kind of parties that would make your grandmother faint. Can you believe it? It's like something straight out of a Hollywood thriller, except this is real life, people. The reports say these tunnels were dripping with luxury. We're talking mood lighting that would make a 5-star hotel jealous, velvet furnishings that probably cost more than my car, and get this, soundproofing. Now, why would anyone need soundproofing in underground tunnels? I'll let your imagination run wild with that one.
Breaking down generation barriers, people from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together.
Now here's the million-dollar question that's keeping everyone up at night. Why? Why would Diddy need a literal labyrinth under his estate? Officially, we're still waiting for answers, but honey, it doesn't take a genius to connect these very suspicious dots. When you're at the tippy top of Fame Mountain, there's practically nothing off limits anymore. And temptation? Oh, it comes in all shapes and sizes. These hidden tunnels? They're like the perfect symbol of how far those temptations can push someone. Things that need to be tucked away, hidden from prying eyes, because darling, even the most bulletproof reputation can crumble when secrets start spilling out. And get this, the FBI supposedly stumbled upon these tunnels while looking into something completely different. Can you imagine? There they are, probably expecting to find some boring financial records or tax stuff, and instead, bam! They're standing in what might as well be a movie set for an underground thriller. Those poor FBI agents must have felt like they'd stepped into the Twilight Zone. One minute they're shuffling through paperwork, the next they're exploring this twisted, hidden world of a music mogul who apparently has a thing for the mysterious and scandalous. And then there's all this juicy speculation about what really went down in these underground rooms. We're not just talking about wild parties. There are whispers about strange rituals, secret performances that never saw the light of day, and behavior that would make a reality show producer blush. These tunnels weren't just some fancy way to dodge the paparazzi. They were the heart of something much bigger, something we were never supposed to know about. It's like a darker, more unhinged version of the celebrity fantasy we usually get fed through our Instagram feeds. And here's the wildest part, the whispers about who else might have been involved. Apparently, Diddy's underground playground wasn't exactly a solo venture. Names are being thrown around. Big names. We're talking actors, CEOs, even politicians. These are people who could just vanish for hours or even days, do whatever these tunnels were designed for, and then pop back into public life like nothing ever happened. Social media is absolutely exploding right now. Everyone from die-hard fans to conspiracy theorists is throwing in their 2 cents, and honestly, the questions they're asking will send chills down your spine. How many of these tunnels are actually out there? And just how many people knew about this whole underground situation? Was this really just about avoiding those pesky paparazzi cameras? Or is there something way more sinister lurking beneath all that glitz and glamour? I mean, think about it. Were these places where celebrities could live out their wildest fantasies protected from judgment by layers of concrete and steel? It's mind-blowing when you really stop to think about it. Here's Diddy, a man who literally has everything: money, power, influence, the ability to shape culture itself. But maybe that's exactly the point. When you've got the whole world served up on a silver platter, what else is there to do but dig deeper? And oh my God, did he ever?
Was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my world.
Right now, the FBI is playing it super close to the chest, but honey, they know exactly what kind of bomb they're sitting on. Maybe we'll get more investigations. Maybe we'll finally get the real story behind these tunnels, or maybe, and let's be real here, it'll all get swept under the rug with one of those hush-hush non-disclosure agreements. We've seen it happen before, haven't we? Celebrity plus power plus fancy legal loopholes equals things that mysteriously disappear. But let me tell you something, this isn't going to just quietly fade away. The public is absolutely hooked, and the questions being asked, they're tough ones. For Diddy, this could be a major turning point. Either he works some serious PR magic and somehow spins this, or he's going to find himself dragged deeper and deeper into a world of accusations and the kind of scandal that sticks around like last season's fake tan. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the tunnels, it's what they represent. It's about power that goes unchecked, secrets buried underground, and that super thin line between celebrity privilege and straight-up creepy behavior. And let me tell you something else. This story isn't going to just vanish into thin air. These tunnels might have been secret, but now that they're exposed, there's only one way to go. Deeper and deeper until we find out just how far this rabbit hole really goes. It's like a wake-up call, reminding us that the lives of the rich and famous, no matter how perfectly curated they look on Instagram, often hide something way more twisted underneath, and maybe, just maybe, some secrets are buried for a reason. But let's spill even more tea, because this is where things get absolutely jaw-dropping. These weren't just some basic underground corridors. They were luxurious beyond belief. We're talking walls lined with imported wood that probably cost more than our yearly salaries, climate control systems that would make NASA jealous, and get this, custom scent systems. Yes, you heard that right. The air had to smell exactly how Diddy wanted it. The whole place was designed to be this underground paradise where every single detail was carefully chosen to create this atmosphere of absolute luxury and total secrecy. A place where guests could completely lose themselves and forget about the boring old world above.
Brokers got an interesting piece of history about these wild tunnels.
Pavarotti, who was a friend and a frequent guest of the estate, used to stay here often, and he would come down to these tunnels and he would practice because the acoustics were so great. Figaro!
And wait until you hear this. There were apparently entire themed rooms underground. I'm not kidding. Imagine walking through a tunnel and suddenly finding yourself in a room that looks like an Egyptian temple, complete with gold decorations and hieroglyphs all over the walls. Or stepping into this futuristic space that looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. This wasn't just about hiding from the world, it was about creating this whole other reality. A playground for people who wanted something different, something they could never find in the regular world. And don't even get me started on the security. These tunnels weren't accessed through some basic hidden panel in a closet. Oh no. We're talking about serious James Bond level stuff here. Fingerprint scanners, retina scans, the works. It's like these tunnels were protecting something way more valuable than just a secret party space. The kind of security they had in place? That's what you use when you're seriously worried about who might come snooping around. But here's what's really sending shivers down everyone's spine: the surveillance. We're hearing about cameras hidden in every corner and microphones built right into the walls, all feeding back to some central control room. Like, why did everything need to be recorded? Was it for leverage? Some twisted personal collection? The possibilities are honestly terrifying. And get this, people are saying these tunnels aren't just under one house. Some swear they stretch for miles, connecting multiple properties. Can you imagine? A whole underground network linking different mansions, letting people move around completely unseen. The level of planning and power needed to pull something like this off, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Now let's talk about the really juicy stuff, the rituals. People are whispering about strange ceremonies happening deep in these tunnels. Not just your regular party stuff, but power plays acted out in ritualistic settings that would make your blood run cold. There's talk about initiation ceremonies, about guests having to prove their loyalty in ways that would make headlines if they ever got out. Some rooms were apparently all about entertainment, super luxurious spaces filled with cushions and rich fabrics where you could totally lose track of time. But others, they were cold and clinical, giving off major creepy vibes. It's like whatever was happening down there wasn't just about having fun, it was about something way more controlled and calculated. And honey, the guest list? If even half of what people are saying is true, we're talking about everyone from A-list actors to government officials. These are people who already live in these amazing bubbles of luxury and excess, so what in the world were they looking for in these underground rooms that they couldn't find above ground? The internet is absolutely losing it. Some people are horrified, others are weirdly fascinated, and then there are those who are just like, yeah, that tracks. They see it as just another example of the elite living by their own rules, doing whatever they want because they can. Meanwhile, Diddy's staying suspiciously quiet. His PR team is working overtime trying to control the story, but come on. How do you spin something like this? You can deny, you can deflect, but once people start imagining what went down in those tunnels, those secret rooms, there's no going back. It all started with some super suspicious construction work around Diddy's LA mansion. Heavy equipment, late-night digging, the kind of stuff that raises eyebrows even in celebrity-packed Beverly Hills. Soon, the rumor mill was churning out wild theories about underground networks connecting to places like the Playboy Mansion and even Neverland Ranch. Sure, connecting mansions hundreds of miles apart seems a bit far-fetched, but since when has logic ever stopped a good Hollywood scandal? The FBI raid in March 2024 turned everything from juicy gossip into national obsession. When those agents stormed Diddy's house, the headlines practically wrote themselves. And while they might have officially been looking into other things, what they found underground has everyone talking. Here's the truth bomb. These tunnels are real, not just some underwater swimming passage to a grotto, but an actual network of secret underground pathways. And while we might never know everything that went down in those hidden corridors, one thing's for sure: this scandal isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The question isn't whether it's real anymore, it's how deep this rabbit hole really goes. And honey, I have a feeling we're just scratching the surface. Do you think this is everything? Or is there even more shocking stuff we haven't discovered yet? Let us know what you think, and don't forget to smash that like and subscribe for more juicy scandals. More juicy scandals. More